Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everybody doing? We're back again with another session. It's Saturday evening. We're talking about how to help a changing world. So, gonna have Deb back on, Deborah Noel Shaw, who is over a prevention coalition, and we're just trying to come up with some ideas and be proactive in our community, just trying to get people to see what it's like and to get your reaction, also to see if you have any ideas or what you've been doing to help your community. So while I'm waiting on Deb, I'll do a update. Let me see if I can get her on. And also to tell you that I've been doing all kinds of things. Monday nights, I am promoting um, Simply Jewel Cosmetics. And Deb, if you can see me or hear me, come on in. It doesn't seem to want to give me anything where I can invite. So, gotta work on that because, like you guys know, I'm not really tech savvy. That's why I pretty much put everything I have in my on my post. So when you see my post, make sure you like, make sure you share. I see you. And also, share, share, share. And if you would be so kind, you can support me by sending stars. So let's talk about it. Anybody that wants to come on, you're welcome to come on. Um, and feel free to voice your opinion. Okay. Like what I'm doing, and let you know that we're doing okay and we can continue to do more if you guys would just, share, 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 like. Hi, Deb. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. You're looking good.
Thank
Maybe
you.
I can get you to pull your camera down a little bit. There you go.
There
There
you
you
go.
go. And then, yeah, let's see.
My lighting
Oh, we are
is not
very
great either.
okay. Well, that's okay. We can just talk and, as they say, chop it up. And let's see what we can do to, um, like I say, how we can help change our communities. Listen to people that are in need. Maybe they need resources, and we can help with that as well.
That sounds like a plan.
I'm wondering if I should turn off my Wi-Fi and use it for my laptop. Well, I have them both, but I'm not able to see people. Let me know if there's in there, or is everything okay?
Yeah, it looks good on my end.
Okay, good. Oh, it says it was restored. Well, I was trying to turn it off. Well, anyway, let's talk about it. How have you been doing, and any changes in the last week since we've talked?
No changes. Um, Preparing for the next cold wave that may come, as far as the warming stations. You don't want to wait. First time we waited until it hit, but now we're being proactive, making sure that we made survival kits
Nice.
for the homeless. So we're trying to make sure that we have an adequate number of those ready um, checking on deals for food as well, so that we're stocked and ready this time.
Nice. That's good. I noticed that they're doing that here, warming shelters, but I don't know. My issue is getting the word out. That's what I'd like to see. So there's so many people that are in need. My thing is, how do we get the word out, so that more people can be serviced? Or just like this morning, I was out early working, and I saw a gentleman with his sign, and I'm thinking, where are these warming centers, or how do we let them know of the different locations so they too can get warm? It was cold. It was like 13 at 7 this morning.
Ooh, wow, it was cold. Well,
Hmm.
in the community where I live, um, a lot of them kind of know each other, and they know where
Okay.
they stay. So if we connect with 5 or 6 of them, they get the word to the others.
Okay. That's good.
Many
Yeah, because
people, yeah, because many homeless people do not have a cell phone, and we have to think about that. There are some that do, um, but probably the majority of them do not have a cell phone. So if you haven't built a
right.
relationship with them and they don't trust you, um, Jewel, they're just not going to interact too much.
Yeah, I do know that. And they do have, and what's good about it, although they're in a compromising position, is that um, many homeless will um, watch out for one another, and they will let each other know, like, okay, go here to get the food, or you can, they give them resources. So that's one thing I've noticed, is that, you know it's unfortunate, but the good thing is there's some connection, and that's, uh, to me, a blessing in disguise. But then, like I say, there's certain other areas that aren't so good, and you have to watch your back. But I don't think people realize what it's like, um, being homeless, especially if you've never been homeless, you know. And there's so many different forms of homelessness. So, being homeless just simply means you don't have any property in your name, or you don't have a place, a lease in your name. But then it trickles down to you're really homeless with just what's on your back. So, yeah, it's so many different things we need to start thinking about, because if we're in our comfortable, you know, homes and comfortable mindsets, we can't even fathom what people are going through.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you're correct. You know, they know each other, they trust each other. That relationship has been established, and that trust is there. I I noticed after, our little cold spell we had the week of Christmas, maybe a week and a half ago, I was serving breakfast at our facility, and they were sitting there talking about various people and the last time they saw them, and I'm going to try to find this person and see if they've seen them. They were really concerned about individuals they had not seen since that freeze spell. And I'm thinking,
Mhm.
to them, that's their family. family. That some of them, that's the only family that they have, because oftentimes they have burnt bridges with their natural family if they're still living. There's been some family feud that's been long brewing, but it was just
Yeah.
amazing to hear them sit and talk about various people in various locations. And they knew I was familiar with the locations and even some of the individuals they were speaking of. And it was a good feeling, because typically they don't talk in front of you or about individuals because of the trust, and they're afraid someone's going to turn them into law enforcement. So they're very, very protected. But I felt good that they felt safe and secure, that they could, discuss that in front of me.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it's a blessing. And the feeling, it's so rewarding.
Mhm.
You can be in a bad situation, and some people you don't even know are in that bad situation because their spirit is so sweet, you know, and it's so rewarding to help people, just to see them light up, even if it's just for a minute. It does something to your heart. Yeah.
Absolutely. It does. Absolutely. So how is
Yeah.
it
So,
there aside from cold?
well, it's something. Let me tell you. I don't know if I talked to you, or if was that the weekend. I don't know if we did
Mhm.
a lot. Well, I don't think we did a live, but one thing that happened here that I've been noticing is people in the workplace. They are struggling. They are having anxiety attacks, panic attacks. I was actually at the grocery store, and after I paid for my items, I took a few steps. You do the self checkout, and the girl that stands at the counter was literally having a meltdown. And
Mm.
I asked her was she okay, and she's like, "No, I'm not okay. I just don't know the price." And the management was like, "Oh, go take a break. She'll be okay." And it's so insensitive to me. It's like, if people are very sensitive right now, why put them with the community? Why put them in the customer service? Why not have them stop or do something where they're not having to deal with people and get agitated or get angry because
Yeah.
they can't get it together? We are in a society where, what the heck is going on? Why is it that we can't see people are struggling? Why is it that we can't have compassion, still let them work, but not in an area where they're struggling and they have a meltdown in front of people? That right there is embarrassing to the person. And for her to get her composure, she couldn't even walk off the floor. So I was like, if and the lady says, "Oh no, it's happened before." Well, if it's happened before, why do you put them with clients? So I kind of had a problem with that. And I actually offered to help, and I do keep my medical bag in the in my car. But I was also thinking about this when we mentioned last week how many people are equipped with first aid and um, CPR, because I immediately went into, you know, nurse mode. How can I help this person standing? And I even told the people that were on the other side, just give her a minute. Give her a minute. She needs to get composure, because they were coming at her like, "Oh, the system isn't working." So that was so sad to me. And I just thought, I'm thankful that had something have happened, I would have been able to assist. Crazy.
Well, that's great that you were there and that you showed that compassion. You know, we have to become more mental health savvy, I feel, as a society.
Yeah.
Um, more educated of what the signs are, so we properly know how to respond in a calm, compassionate, nurturing manner. And I agree. If you know that you have an employee that has anxiety, then I'm not saying they can't work. I'm just saying you need to find where they're comfortable at, because
Exactly.
being up front in a grocery store and people asking you questions over and over and over again may be a trigger for her. That may trigger her anxiety, and she feel very, very pressured. And then when she becomes overwhelmed, she melts down. But then at the same
Yeah.
time, she feels humiliated and guilty because she's letting everybody down.
That's
Where
exactly what she said. Yep.
hmm And like you said,
And
stocking shelves is fine. She can still earn her pay. She's working at a reasonable pace, and she has less customer interaction sometimes
right.
doing that.
It was just so sad to me, and I thought, wow, is this what we're coming to? You know, common sense isn't common anymore because people are not using their common sense. And my thing is, you're management and you're walking up to her too slow, in my opinion, because I saw it when I was checking out, but I didn't know she was going to have an outburst. And then all of a sudden, management didn't come until I stopped to say, are you okay? How come you're not paying attention to your employees and you're in management position? So I don't know how people are getting in these management positions, but I've been in customer service all my life, and that's just something that you pay attention to, especially if it's happened before. You keep an eye on that person when it's crowded, overpopulated. You know, it used to be what they only let so many people in the store. Now it's back to as if nothing ever happened.
Right.
So if you know this happened before, then you should be monitoring her, making sure she takes her breaks, making sure she has a snack, making sure she drinks water. These are things that management needs to pay attention to.
Absolutely.
So I can go on and on and on. I'm sorry. But back to you.
No, but I mean, that mental health plays a very important part, Jewel, in every walk of life, every career path. And we need to be aware. We're all unique. We're all different. What may trigger you may not be a trigger for me, and vice
Right.
versa. But we need to be alert um, when things like that happen. You know,
Absolutely. It's crazy. It's just crazy. I saw some hearts come up. Anybody on the screen that wants to come up and talk about anything, what you're noticing, the difference in the neighborhood, in the community? What is it that you guys are noticing? I'm not able to see if anybody's saying anything on the screen. Can you see?
hi, Amy Wood. I see you. Amy is my assistant director here in Tennessee with the coalition. She's watching.
Hi, nice. Thank you for watching. You want to come in? We can go ahead and send an invite if you see, and come on the screen and talk with us because there's so much going on that it's okay. That's what we need to do. That's what the time is for. So we can hear what's going on in the communities. What are you noticing? And in a perfect world, what would you do if you can make changes?
Wow. Now that's a great question. Um, I think about a lot in what we do and where we are in rural Tennessee. There's so much stigma and so much misinformation. People don't realize that some of the stuff they're talking about has probably been outdated for 10 or 15 years. But everyone holds on to that old information. Well, they said, but you haven't taken time to invest in yourself to become current with either technology or whatever transformations and changes are taking. And that is so disappointing to me sometimes with all the technology and opportunities for free education and free information that's available to us. That
Yeah,
really does concern me. There were times when there were really limitations and you had to pay for a lot of things now that, our states and federal government are making free. And then we're still in the dark in 2023 on so many topics.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, we can just name a few. Like, what are your top three topics that you think um, is concerning or alarming?
Wow. Well, I feel the homelessness issue, um, addiction, as far as substances, opiates. We have a real concern right now with fentanyl and
Yeah,
carfentanil and all the forms of fentanyl that are out there, and how effective and informed individuals are about that. Um, and I don't know. I have a real concern about our teens and our young people's health as far as the vaping and
okay.
with the tobacco vaping issue. I'm also concerned about children and adolescent obesity. Not to date ourselves, Jewel, but we remember when, physical education, PE, was part of your everyday school curriculum.
Yep.
And now so many school systems, the children don't even get to hardly go outside anymore and run, maybe 10 or 15 minutes at lunch. But, I can remember that we'd have a morning recess and we'd go out at lunch and then we'd have a recess or playtime. All of that has changed. But in that change, we've also seen increase in health markers and changes in conditions. So that's a
Yeah,
concern.
that is the concern. Yeah. Hi, Marva. We're talking about concerns. If you'd like to come on and talk about what's going on in your community, changes that you've noticed, feel free, and I'll add you up on the screen. But yeah, obesity is something that is definitely a concern. And because we're in health and wellness on so many different levels, even the kids are trying to get their parents to eat right. But one thing I will say is the children or the kids are the ones to get their parents to buy certain things. Like if they see a pair of tennis shoes they like, they go to the parent. So that's why it is a good idea to reach the children so they can get their parents to eat right. There's so many different problems in the world here. So yeah, I agree with the obesity. Now the vaping, that is something that I just recently started researching a lot about because of the different um, flavors or whatever it is they put in. But yeah, that is something we can bring to the forefront as well. So um, let's see, homelessness, addiction, vaping, obesity. Um, let's see if I can even. I'm trying to think of like, let's just talk about geriatrics. You know, people
Yeah.
have family members and they don't even know how to care for them. You know, so we have to be mindful. And why is it that we have to say, go check on your loved ones when that's something we should be doing? You see, but everybody's not medical. So everyone
Absolutely.
may not know what to do. So that's another thing that we offer is to, for anyone that has a loved one and they're shut in, they're sick, they may need to go to the doctors. We can help them to facilitate maybe 4 family members where they take turns so everybody won't burn out, stuff like that. How to keep
Mhm.
them safe, you know, the safety measures they need to take if they have um, a family member uh, with Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, so that they won't get up at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning when everyone's sound asleep and go outside and end up missing. You see, um, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. We have a um, individual that we know in our community, and uh, she's really struggling um, with her memory, and we see it, but she she's not there to identify that she has a problem yet. She'll show up places and not even know why she's there. And
Yeah,
I'm getting concerned with her even operating a vehicle under those circumstances. Because if you just show up at a location and you're thinking everybody's going to be there and they don't show up, you're all alone. And
yeah,
what happens if the wrong person shows up and you're at a location? It becomes a real safety concern. And, you know, she does have family here. However, they have their own life and their own situations. And I really don't feel maybe they're as attentive or as engaged as maybe they could be or even should be. But yeah, our senior population, um, we need to look out for them, you
yes,
and make
we
sure
do.
that they have the resources that are needed because, many of them are not tech savvy. If they have a phone, it's probably a flip phone. They
Yeah,
4G and 5G is not the technology that they even want, to operate or know anything about. They feel like, well, all I'm going to do is make a phone call, so this is the um, least costly way for me to do that. So just basic things. They're not going to get on the internet and surf and research
yeah, that's
anything.
true. Hmm.
Yeah.
You're right about that. Yeah. Wow, that's a whole nother subject about senior citizens learning how to get on these phones and operate the phones. But then you've got hackers and scammers, and they don't know how to differentiate the two. Oh, it is a mess.
Yeah.
And I saw Marva say that she can come on for a few minutes, and that's fine, Marva. I don't see. Go ahead and send a request and let us know what you have noticed in your community. And Marva is also a nurse. Um, and she's on Eastern Standard Time, Florida area. So we have people from all over, and that's why I say, this is something that we all can talk about. I'm not seeing very many on today, but I do know that they will watch the replay. Please make sure that comment or share this out and let people know that that's what Saturday sessions are all about. Next month, we will be changing the platform where we can get at least 10 people on at a time. And, it's just time to talk about these things. Because who are they talking to? And are people able to talk to their friends? Are their friends noticing the same thing that they're noticing? What are you doing? Are you dressing up to go to the grocery store? Are you still wearing your mask when you go to the grocery store? Are you still wiping things down? That kind of thing. Let's talk about that. We
Absolutely.
already, yeah, because we already know that the world has issues, but they'll put it on the platform, but let's talk about it. You see what I mean? They'll talk about other things, but here is a platform where we can talk about what we see in the community so that people are aware, because some people aren't even aware that this stuff is going on.
That's
So,
true.
like,
So
what
true.
are we doing? You know?
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
agree.
What
I
else
think as
do we
far
have?
as
We have,
our seniors, in Colorado, do you have senior centers there?
oh, yeah, senior centers. But see, if you don't, like we mentioned earlier, you can have a senior center, but you don't know how to relate to the people. You have activities, you know, okay, they may go on an outing. In the wintertime, I'm not sure what they're doing. But the senior centers, it's like you have somebody because it's a job, but are they doing critical thinking? Are they really listening to the need of the seniors? Are they really able to be self sufficient? Of course, they have dinners, they have recreation.
Mm-hmm.
They do have people that come to talk to them. But if you are a person working in a senior citizen center and you don't know what people are doing, how is it going to be fun for the seniors?
You're
People
right.
decline every day, they decline all day long, but you got to be creative. So, yeah, they do have senior citizen centers. They have outings. They may go to the hills and have a buffet or go to the casinos, but it just depends on who's in charge.
Well, I think that some of the things that we are talking about may be topics that we can offer to facilitate, um, and offer resources in that population. One thing I know I've noticed here that our seniors are very connected. So if they find something that they feel is interesting or they hear a topic that they like, they'll share it with their friends.
Okay.
Hey, we had a good topic today. You need to follow up with this particular agency because they're offering, whatever services it may be. I know also this spring we're planning a senior expo that's going to be an expo and a kind of in conjunction with our health department, like a health fair, where there will be
Yeah.
not only medical screenings, but there will be other agencies from the community that can offer them information about their services.
Yes. Now, see, they do that. There is I think a senior citizen, well, 50 plus, and they have health fairs, and then in the park they have like a thon, some kind of a sport thon where they're doing sports and stuff. But see, again, good ideas, but then how are we advertising to get it out to masses of people? See, I know that there's a lot to do here because when I first came, it was a lot. People were very active. One of the top states where they didn't have to deal with much obesity because people were active, hiking, biking, water canoeing, um, what is the tire tubing. There were so many things that people could do, rock climbing. But now it's like getting the word out to people. People do a good game, and that's one thing I noticed. We do a lot of advertising on Facebook, but now I feel, this is just me, we do a lot of advertising on Facebook, but how are we connecting to the communities on Facebook? Does that make sense? Like there's so many different groups. So to me, I think, senior citizens who are not on Facebook, that's why I have so many platforms. They may listen to YouTube. They may listen to Twitter or be on Twitter. Everybody's doing something different. So, but are we really connecting, connecting to the communities that are on these social platforms?
And I think as many of these opportunities that we can offer, keep them free. Our senior population have limited incomes many, many times. They're living on retirement checks and things of that nature, and they are stretching their dollar as far as they can stretch it just to live. And sometimes I feel that they miss out on opportunities because sometimes it's a cost factor. Also, sometimes they miss out on opportunities because it may be free, but they may not be able to get there because of the cost of gas. They fill their car up and they have so much gas to last them till next month when they get, paid again. So I think many times we're going to have to partner with our local churches and see if we can use their community rooms or fellowship areas or our local fire departments and communities and see those fire stations if they have a community room or something that we can utilize so that if individuals don't have transportation or make it right there close to them, that maybe they could walk or, several of them could carpool. In our county, we are very, very spread out geographically. It's very, very wide. So it takes 30 minutes to get to one side to the other. I'm sure I'm not the only person in a community like that. And here, we have no public transportation. So there's no Uber, no Lyft, no cab, no public bus transportation. So you have to be mindful and you do have to be very creative of where you're holding things, that it's in close proximity so people can participate.
Well, that's true. Now, explain to me what's the population there? Because how is it? You said it's a rural area, though.
Yes.
I'm confused.
Okay. The county has over 27,000 people, and
no.
No. So when you're offering services, you truly have to think outside the box and take those services in those neighborhood areas that people can come to. You know, we have several different fire departments that make up our county. So you partner with those, make them a community partner so that you can host programming and services at that location. And people in that area can, come 10 or 15 minutes, but 30 minutes, that's too much gas. And I don't know if I can get there or not. You're dealing with those objections. Or have it at a church. And then sometimes that can even get a little difficult simply because it may not be the denomination that person is, and they don't want to be seen in somebody else's. People have their own thought process about it, but you're making attempt. I believe we have to meet people where they are and take information to where they are and try to make it as accessible as we possibly can.
Yes, I agree. Now there's someone else, I don't know who this is because it says I only see your name. So how can I get that person on? I don't know. Well,
let me see. Let me put my this on so I can see.
It says add, but I don't know. See, we were headed somewhere and got interrupted. It said 2 people, and then it went off. So if you're watching and you want to come on the screen so we can talk about these things, go ahead and send me an invite or add to be on the screen, and we'll put you on. Because we came on about, 5 after? So we still have about 15 minutes if anybody wants to come on, talk about what you're doing in the community or what you're not doing and what you'd like to see in your community. Because there's got to be somebody that can spearhead and get some things going. I mean, I know everybody's not just sitting at home wishing they shoulda, coulda, woulda. I know there's people or things that people can do collectively, even on platforms like this. Feel free to come on, get you a beverage and sit down and talk or type in your comments and we can talk about it. Because that's the type of, I think, that's the type of direction I think we're going, because people aren't ready to go out, but they can connect to people on the platforms. It's just like visiting. It's like, consider us your next door neighbor, and we're talking, and we have our little beverage, and we're just talking. Like, consider it like that. And then if you want to talk about something more personal, well, you can go to simplyjewel.com, and my phone number is there. You can call me, you can text me, you can email me. So that's how I like to think about Saturday night. Matter of fact, let me grab my drink. I had it, and it could be almost gone. But yeah, we're just sitting and talking. Grab your beverage. Think of it as us being neighbors. Anybody else want to come on? Anybody else have anything to say? Who's that there? Do they want to come on? The person next to you?
Oh, no, they were just coming in the room to get something. You're fine.
God.
That was my
You
son.
can come on. Oh, well, hello there. I don't think I've met your son. I remember when your kids were young.
Yeah.
But I don't. It's been so long. Oh, that's the only thing I don't like about being so far away.
I
That you
understand.
can't eat. Yeah.
You don't get to see
Patrick,
people
Joe.
very often.
No, you don't. So do we know Patrick, Joe? Patrick, would you like to come on? I don't know who that is, but you're welcome to come on the platform. Let's talk about it. What are you doing in your community?
Absolutely.
I forgot. I don't mind sipping, but I took a big gulp. Okay, well, I'm not sure, but sending love to you. That would be to you or to me, Deb. I don't know, but you're welcome to come on and tell us personally. How about that?
Ah,
Yes. So
wonderful.
you had a good point there. What else were you saying about the community? Now, see, I'm trying to understand how are we going to get that energy up again where people want to get involved, where people want to put on events? All these 501s out here, like what can they do they're to put on events for our seniors or the kids.
You know, I don't think people are volunteering as much anymore. And we're going to have to maybe work a little harder to do that. You know, you're talking about 501. We received our letter today for Voices that we
Oh,
are officially a 501c3. And thank you, thank you.
congratulations.
Um,
Good.
you know, we started as a community organization, and it was a thought process, it was a dream, it was a desire, and getting like-minded individuals that wanted to make a positive impact in their community. I mean, and it's been roughly 18 months of commitment and dedication, and we're seeing some change. But I think some people just don't understand that it can happen. Get a
Yes.
few people together and decide what you want to do, what issues and concerns that you want to address. Um, find those sectors in your community that we talked about before. You know, those in local government, get with your school officials, get with your local health department, other agencies that you can collaborate with on different projects, and network. you know um,
Yes.
Local health departments make a big difference because you will find out what their initiatives are from the state that they're working on. And usually they have at least, a 3 to 5 year plan on certain topics that they want to address, and see some of those markers come down and see a
Yes.
decrease over time. So you just have to take the first step, and did we always know where we were going? Absolutely not. I mean, we had a vision. We had a mission statement that is always being revised due to the times that we're living in and the needs of our community. Work on a strategic plan. What are the
Yes.
demographic of your community, and what population are you trying to reach in that community? And then take that map and get busy and start, offering events, or hosting events. You can get local businesses. Even though we weren't a 501c3, we had community partners that were vested and believed in what we were doing.
That's great.
that would make
See,
donations.
yeah, that's half the battle. I'm just trying to figure out where these people are. There's so much that needs to be done, but I'm not seeing people. Well, let's put it this way. I'm saying I'm not seeing it, but I probably should say it's not circulating as well as it should be circulating. Because see, my thing is it's time to quit sugarcoating stuff and literally get out here and make hold people accountable. You
Hmm.
know, now where you are, it's clear that you guys are active. Here, they could be active, but I'm not seeing it spread out. I'm not hearing about it on the radio. You know how you used to hear stuff on the radio, what's going on, what people are doing? I'm not hearing that.
Well, I will
I'm,
tell you this. Um, you do have to tap in. You have to figure out how to break that barrier. And you, you'll have to call, sometimes I spent time on being on different websites of the county, just checking their calendar to see what events were coming up so that I could meet some of the people in the community, so that I would, they would know my face and I wouldn't know their face, kind of deal. And I attend our commissioner meetings in our county, um, so that I would know who those individuals are and so that they would understand that we do prevention. So I'm not, and was it easy, Jewel? I'm being honest. No, because I, but it's part of wanting to make a change. You have to go out and you have to be, I hate to say it, that poster child sometime in your community to bring about change. I mean, you just have to do it. And I learned that when we started this, I was always committed. You have to make that short-term sacrifice for that long-term gain. And it's not been an easy 18 months, but it's been a very rewarding because I am seeing small changes over time. And so those small changes, you learn to celebrate them. And then when you see those changes, they start to call you instead of you calling them. Now you're valued as a partner and you have some credibility, and they start reaching out to you for help.
yeah, I get that. I get that. And that's what's really sad, because there's so much out here. But you're right about that. And one thing I want to say too is, it's here it used to be a different kind of energy. Now that we have this influx of people, I'm sure they're out there, but the energy has changed. And it seems like, or it sounds like where you are, you still have people who are ready for change, who want change. And I'm not saying that they don't hear. I'm just saying that it is because we have wide open spaces and it's, uh,
Mhm.
I may cover a 10-mile radius, but there is a 20-mile radius and beyond here. And I'm just trying to find a way to get people to connect because there's so much to do here. The
Mhm.
only thing is, it's so to me. Now that's what I feel. It's very disconnected. So if anybody's watching, if anybody's listening, let me know so that I can connect the dots and so that we can do some things and connect with our community, connect with the senior citizens, connect with the teenagers, because I'm sure they're getting tired and bored and worn out, because nobody's really connecting. But that's what I love. I love to hear you talk and speak about your community. And as you know, that's what we're used to because we
Absolutely.
had a community and that's what we know. But in these changing times, I'm sorry, we need to get back to basics because that's what the
Absolutely.
young kids are missing. Um,
Absolutely.
that's what
And go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying that's what people are missing. There's no sense of community, and
Absolutely.
it's everywhere. You know, people don't know their neighbors, let alone be a community. But who's going to plant the seed? Who's going to cultivate? That's all I'm saying.
Well, you know, I think I've shared this before. Um, we're a prevention coalition, so that's our primary focus. But with prevention and addiction, there comes mental health, and we've gotten involved with NAMI, which is a National Alliance of Mental Health. So we're
Yeah.
able to do trainings with that for our community. Uh, I think I told you that I literally got, um, we're a member of our local Chamber of Commerce. I asked for a membership list and I sent out a packet to every business that was on that, introducing our organization and myself. Um, Included a business card, and I did a one pager kind of telling them what we were about and what the
Nice.
services we had to offer. And that made a very positive impact, I think. Um, and
Mhm.
from that, we gained partners. We received checks in the mail from that of people that liked what that one pager showed. They felt that resonated with them and they wanted us to carry that message on. Something as simple as that, Jewel, can start a community. You send out a one
Great.
pager and say, we're going to have a community meeting to address these topics. And you may use some people like lunch and learns, to do something over their lunch hour. Um, that's something that has been successful sometime. People will chop it up and talk over lunch. Let it be on Teams or Zoom so that it's convenient for people to pop in and pop out and share ideas. But we can all make a positive impact in our community. We just
Yeah.
have to sit down and be still and be very strategic because there are a lot of needs in everybody's community that needs some addressing. But people have to want to do
I
the work.
agree. I
It's
agree.
work.
Well, all I have to say, Deb, is you've got a great team. And you're right. People have to do the work. I myself am busy, but I wish I had a team that would want to do the work because we could add to it and go get out in the community. But we're trying to do our best with what we've got uh, for this business. But if anybody is on here and you're thinking about um, getting involved in your community, continue listening. We're here on Saturday evenings, 5 o'clock Mountain Time, 4 o'clock Pacific Time. Uh, Deb is Central Standard Time, so that's 6 o'clock, and then Eastern Standard Time will be 7 o'clock. So tune in each Saturday, and we're going to keep doing this every Saturday until we get tired. And then hopefully you guys will come on and get involved, comment, um, simply support this channel so that we can continue to um, uh, do better because, like I said, I'm working on the lighting and all of that. But next month, we will be using a different platform, and hopefully, you guys can come on and get involved. Deb, go ahead and let them know what you do and how they can get in touch with you if they're in your area, or are you willing to give them some gems and nuggets independently?
Oh, yes. If you want to reach me, I'm executive director of a prevention coalition in the state of Tennessee. You can call us at 731-438-5166. And I would love to talk to you to help get started. I know the first step of getting past the fear of failure, but as long as you have a plan, and I'm willing to take the time to talk to you and see how we can develop a plan that is specific. Everybody's community is different. All
Yeah,
communities are unique, and you need to find the uniqueness of your community and build on that. What do you feel are needs of that community, and what would you like to who would you like to have the greatest impact on? We are looking forward to an opportunity to go into our local jail um, and offer services. And that's
nice.
huge because many times, it's cycles of incarceration sometimes in families, but we'll be able to offer smart recovery. We will be offering trauma informed care and some other things, some domestic violence things. And that's really, we're making an impact on people that feel nobody cares, you know, and I can help you with that. A lot of people don't realize there's a lot of money put out by our federal government right now for reentry programs
Yeah, yeah. I
and to
noticed
help
that,
them.
and yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's a lot. There's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot to do. Like I say, we'll be on here every Saturday trying to connect with people. As Deb says, connect with her, let her help you. And then even for me and my community, trying to get in touch with different people, trying to bring awareness. And it can be exhausting, but it's also rewarding. So
Absolutely.
that's what I think. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. Well, thank you, Deb, for coming on. We have exceeded our time for tonight. We will be back on, Lord willing, next Saturday. And if anybody else wants to come on, I guess they got, the time is so different, but we're here, and please feel free. And also, these sessions will also be going to YouTube so that we can connect with other people who may not have Facebook. So that'll be Simply Jewel TV on YouTube, and feel free to connect with us. So thanks, Deb, for coming on. It was good to talk to you again.
Good to talk to you. Have a great week, everyone. Bye bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye bye.